In the last 2 episodes, you saw us pick up a 2014 Ford Focus that seemed perfect to fix up and flip. Because it was only $1,200, only 116,000 miles, and we knew we could replace this dual clutch. So we had it towed back 2 hours to our house. We began to roll it in the backyard so we could start working on it and getting that transmission out. And it didn't take very long since we did it to the last Focus too. Got the new dual clutch put inside the trans and got the transmission put back in the car. Then went to do the clutch relearn and the car would not start. So we replaced our junkyard starter with a brand new one out of the box and put it in. And then it was time to get it ready for sale, doing an interior detail, which made it look amazing inside. But we still had to fix the broken fog light, and surprisingly the one I had on the shelf fit just right in. And the last thing before we hand this car off is to give it a nice wash. But as I was about to give it to its new owner, the dreaded check engine light came on and was now throwing a code for a bank 1 oxygen sensor. And figured we'd have this car done in a half hour, but we were very wrong. Bosch O2 sensor ready to go in. And then we also went and grabbed this 3/8 offset oxygen sensor wrench from Harbor Freight, so we're going to use this to put this O2 sensor in. Okay, and it goes on just like that. And we're going to get this O2 sensor out right there with our tool. Okay, so I think it'll be easier if I just go ahead and cut the wire since we're not using this O2 sensor. And then I'm going to put an actual socket on there so I make sure I get firm or get a good enough grip and I don't strip this thing. So let's go ahead and clip that. Just like that. And I see we got our socket on there. Okay, as you can see, this is what I got rigged up right here. Have my 1/2-inch drive ratchet along with my breaker bar. And we're going to see if we can get this loosened up. All right, guys, I think we got it. And once I broke it, it was easy to get it out. So you see we just cut the wires, able to get the socket on. It was a lot easier to do it this way than using that tool. Now we just got to find where this harness goes into. Right over here. Pop this out. We got it popped out. Now we just need to go ahead and disconnect it. Here we go. Looks the same. All right, let's get it plugged in. Okay, now let's go ahead and clip this in. And okay, we are clipped in. Tighten this down. All right, guys, that should be good. Okay, so our O2 sensor is now in. It's plugged in. It's clipped in. Now it's time to reset the DTCs, and we're gonna take it for a ride, and hopefully it doesn't come back on. Okay, guys, and here's our DTC. We're going to reset them. Now you can see we have none. So we're gonna take it for a ride, and hopefully this doesn't come back on. We get E-check. All right, guys. Well, let's hope this engine light stays off. We are cruising, and fingers crossed that this thing's ready to sell. Guys, the engine light did just come back on. I have no idea what the hell is going on at this point. I guess I'm gonna tell the person that I'm selling it to, and now we're gonna have to wait to figure out exactly why this engine light is still on. I told the buyer I would get the engine light off. So here we go again, taking things back apart. Cleaning out the mass airflow sensor, and that didn't work either. So right now I'm at a loss of what this O2 sensor issue is. That's just kind of the name of the game. Like when you're flipping cars, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Next step is check the pins and the connectors of the ECU. Took out the screws, the T30s. We're gonna pull this back, get to the ECU. We're gonna unplug it, and we're gonna check the pins. And when we got to the ECU box, we couldn't get the cover off because the screws kept spinning. So unfortunately, we had to break it. We're almost to the harness. We just gotta get this piece off and then see if we can get these clips off and then pull it out. Okay, guys, well, our first clip is out. I don't see any corrosion or anything right away, but we still have to find a schematic so we can get the multimeter and test this. Okay, and here's the awesome thing. I finally found a diagram for our connector into the ECU that does have the pins for our Bank 1 Sensor 1 O2 sensor. And then it lists exactly what each pin is. So what I did is I took that, and here I actually mapped out all 5 of the wires. I thought there was 6, But these are the ones that we're gonna go test. We have 64, 65, 72, 88, 89. And I matched those up on the sensors plug. Okay guys, and to get into the pins, because they're so small, I did have to buy these. Hopefully they work pretty well. They have like a little needle end and pointed end, so you can slide right into that slot. I'll show you what we got here. Got our multimeter. We have our plug disconnected, and we have our other side of our multimeter right there into the ECU connector. And so we're going to show you exactly what you want here. Oh, we do have continuity right there. We have now moved on to the other pin, which is pin 89. Then we have 88. We did 72. Then it's 64 and 65. Okay, so for our pin 89, we should get continuity on this top left pin right here, which is pin 6. All right, guys. Yep. So we are good there. Okay, and we moved the pin down here to pin 88. Should get continuity on pin number 5. Pin number 5 is right there. Oh. Guys, we're not getting anything here. Is that our issue? All right, we should get it right here on pin number 1. All right, guys, we got continuity. Our last one is pin number 65 down there to pin number 2, which is right here. Got it. Okay, guys, we are not getting continuity for this pin 5 with our pin 89 down there. I did go ahead and take the back off. So we have our connector right here, and what's nice is it does show you where the top number starts. You see 96 right here, and you count back. So we did identify our wire, and it is this green guy right here, and he goes kind of entangled with this purple and green wire all the way down. So we have to follow this wire and look to see where it is damaged. Alright guys, as you can see, I have exposed the wire loom all the way down from the connector to the ECU, all the way up to the top of the engine. I'm going to do another inspection, and hopefully I don't have to go any further closer to this sensor over here, and it's somewhere within here, so I don't have to keep taking all this off. So let's check it out. I guess I'm going to have to take this wrap off here because from what I've seen, I cannot find anywhere on this wire that's damaged, so it's got to be further up to here or through here, to where it ultimately gets to our sensor right here. I thought we were never going to find this. I mean, I'm like deep into a whole lot of wiring loom that is all taken apart. I think that we found it. Okay guys, so here's where we got our loom undone up to, and remember our wire was wound up with this purple one. So if we go over here, would you guys look at that? Let's see if we can zoom in. Right there. That's the guy. All that work to get to that. Wow. Interesting. So we're gonna have to repair this. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut the rest of this wire right here. Let's see, let's get it separated from this other wire here. And it just broke. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and strip it. Okay, and I took my wire strippers. As you can see, I got both ends of our wire exposed, and Brittany's assisting with putting on the tape. And here is our DIY backyard repair, but it's not looking too bad. We're on pin 80, we're on pin 88 of the ECU, and on top we're on pin 5. So we're gonna put the multimeter there, test for continuity, and hope we get a beep.
Fingers crossed.
We're gonna test, see if we get a beep.
Hey! We fixed it.
So, guys, we should be good with the O2 sensor. Tape all this back up with
Put it
the
back
wiring
together.
loom, and clear the codes, take it for a ride about 30 miles, and hopefully it doesn't come back on.
And he didn't think he could do it.
Nope, but we fixed it.
Woohoo!
It's
Didn't think you
something
needed.
I wish on nobody.
Finding a bad wire is not something we've done. Normally it's obvious. It's like completely ripped in half.
Then Britt got the whole wiring harness taped back up. And here's what Brittany did. Oh, look at that. Wow. This looks like new, dude.
I know.
So she's gonna go to the top, but you can see we are looking pretty damn good down here. We're gonna go ahead and put this loom, our final one, right in here. You wanna do the honors?
And don't tear it. You want a good flat rub, because if you tear it, it wrinkles. And it just causes stupid issues.
Hope everything fires up. Put the wheel back on, take it for a ride after we clear the DTCs, and hopefully everything should be good. All right, let's go.
Woo!
All right, guys, the computer is back inside. We have our wheel well almost on. Put the wheel back on, clear all the codes inside, and then we're gonna take it for a ride. Okay, guys, we have cleared the codes and we are ready to roll. All right, so I think we're good. We did it, just hit 100-mile mark. There is no engine light on. Guys, this was a fight. Like everything else we do, I guess. But the good news is it is off. So it is time to go sell this car. It's been a lot of work, but it's now a car I'm proud to pass on to its rightful new owner. Flipping cars isn't easy, but it's always rewarding at the end. Looking at it now, it's hard to believe we got this car for $1,200. Alright guys, so I did tell you last episode that when we sold the car, I would tell you exactly how much we sold it for, how much we had in it, so we could figure out, you know, what our profit on the car is. And well, I am glad to say that we sold the car for $5,100, a little less than, you know, I was hoping for, but it was a fair deal. And we only had about $2,700 into the car. So you do the math, we made about $2,400 profit, which at the end of the day, I do feel good about, and I'm ready to move on to the next one. So that's it for this episode, but tune into the next one and see what the next car is that we pick up.